Hey. Oops. Hi, Efisia. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Oksana. How are you?
Well, oh, great. We're back on schedule with Thursday videos. Yeah, well, I was falling asleep yesterday thinking about that. This morning we'll do it. It's day for you in London, and the I saw you. Like I wasn't asleep yet, but I was very tired, closed my eyes, and immediately saw you as this big energy made out of little sparkles, almost like molecules. And you were standing in the round, completely round room. It was silver, like silver foil. And there were a lot of doors all around you. And you said to me before the session that before we started, that you actually use this door method, right, in your sessions, which is
Yes,
interesting.
amazing.
Yeah. And you said that, each door, and they were all the same. All these doors were the same color. Um, these doors lead to artificial font. How do you say it in English?
Sources, different.
Sources, yeah, artificial sources. And each source is encoded with different rules and regulations. And all the souls, they're tricked to believe that these are natural ones, but they're not natural. They all need to be as one group. And I was thinking, it's like in communism. You all need to be the same, following the same rules. And if you don't, something happens to you. And you say, yeah, well, they're gonna edit you out. It's like death type thing. And then they're gonna keep you somewhere as punishment. And I was thinking, and then you say, well, a lot of souls these days realize that this artificial environment where they're in, and they want to get out. And that's why I feel it through me, and I open the door when a bunch of them are ready to escape, and then I instruct them. And after that, I fell asleep. So I wanted to go back into this and see, because I also see you changing shape, and I saw you getting turning into some sort of fume, like fog. So basically, when we raise vibration without a hard 3D body, we can disintegrate as fog and disappear. Appear, reappear, that's basically it. And you were kind of like showing it to me. Well, that I just remembered now because I'm going kind of in my memory, was that. So I would like to, and that kind of relates to those cubes that I saw with doors. Remember, I keep seeing this stuff. So basically, I started asking myself, remember my other dream? I had like cubes. Each cube had a door, and
Hmm.
each room was a different artificial reality generated by AI. So I started asking myself this morning, what is really real?
Hmm.
Why is everything encoded? Is it just a bunch of universes stuck together because they got invaded by AI technology and beings? And that's why, if we go, like, when is the end of it? How can you completely get out and be completely yourself? Because those souls realize that, hey, I cannot be completely myself. I cannot create what I want because they tell me what to create here.
I realize that everything makes sense because I know that we're living in a matrix. We know we work in this for quite a long time. So all the people that they come to me to be helped, like they do with you, and they need to understand what's going on with them. It's not that only they cleaning a trauma or a problem with the body, pain, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
which I do. What I really want from my, let's say, clients and people I help is to help them to understand. So when I send them to choose in one of these rooms, is to go and understand that was fake, that was all a program, and they
Mm-hmm.
and with basically is they job to deactivate it and to erase this fake program that is installed in their body. Okay, so the
Mm,
rooms is only a way for them to understand, and then when the other rooms they will be automatically erased and disappear, because
mm,
the person is not that you put a plaster to a wound. You have definitely to understand why you have the wound. What is the reason? And you nail it, because I use the doors to help people to explore, because we are explorer, we are travelers, we are um, soul from another dimension. We know that soul, the real DNA soul, is pure, and, and many, unfortunately, souls are already, let's say, compromised with other DNA. We know is reptilians, felinoids, insectoids, the greys, humanoids, and
mm.
etc., etc., etc. So, and everybody wants what we have, because we are amazing. We are the best of the best. When people says, God, us, God is us, because God is here, is explorer. We are part of him or her or him entity. We don't have, because people give a gender all the time, but it's
Right.
just we are something so big that everybody wants. We like that what you said the other day, the Santo Graal.
Ah, Saint Graal
Yeah,
or
we
yeah,
are
whatever.
this. Basically, everybody want this, come si dice, conoscenza,
The
um,
knowledge.
the
The knowledge.
knowledge that we have, because we are a database. And when they send us in these rooms that you see, they
Hmm.
want this database. And you're right.
Yeah, and they find a way to get our DNA through our physical DNA because we become connected once we're born. And that's why all those tests, all this blood since birth and all this stuff, and that's why all the other stuff, into the
Mhm,
baby's
mhm.
body to change the DNA and to see original DNA taking blood from the heel or whatever they do, and then how it's been changed. And then they keep file on you how it's been changed throughout the life, depending on your decision what to agree or not to agree to a program.
Yes. And then mention that you mentioned before, that we have sometime a agent that check on us, control us, the spy us,
We
even if
do,
they
we
don't
do.
know. And sometimes we are relatives, and sometimes are
It's most of the it's 99.9% is relatives that check on you. They're like agents of, even if you yeah, I understand this for myself in my case. So you disconnect from the those who captured your soul and made you incarnate here, forced you incarnate here, like they're forcing people now go to the army and get killed, in Russia. And but still, by using your DNA because you were on that ship and they had that DNA, or they took your physical DNA in your life, they created your children. One of the children can be an agent, or your husband or wife, or father-in-law, mother-in-law. Anybody can be an agent because somehow they're related to the DNA because you connect with. That's why they need families. They need this connection. It's also blood connection becomes. That's how you can use any person from the family through that DNA connection and control the other person they need to
yeah,
control.
especially when they have argument for silly things, even different opinions and they use the opinion that different to become a little bit more personal. Okay, that because the only way to make yourself upset or is to that is when you release the information. Okay, this is the way to release the information when you are upset, because usually
Exactly.
we try to keep inside everything, but
Mhm. Mhm.
but when somebody is angry with you or is provoking you, and they put you, when they stress you out, you are react, or with sadness or with anger, that is when you release the information.
Because when you react, and sometimes it happens, you cannot really control it because it happens unexpectedly. Let's say your child falls, and I mean it's a natural thing that your body, your physical brain reacts, right? And hormones are released for you to feel certain way. And that at that point, I close my eyes, and sometimes I see, and I literally see like sparks coming out of me, forming a ball, and the ball goes. And it doesn't mean that I'm connected to those entities where it goes, but it goes into the system. And the ball has my information, my personal information. So it's crazy. It basically supplies the invisible um, cords of the system that carry database. And that's the only way to keep the world going. But I just remembered Efisia now. I think it was almost like in my, uh, it wasn't even a dream that I saw like an architect of each and every room. So each and every room has its own creator. And those souls, I remember talking to souls, and they would say, "Oh, that's our creator who created the rules." So there are basically some IT people, computer people, or humanoid beings who actually create those computer programs, encode the worlds. Who are they? How that happened that they are produced in such big manner? Because the architect of our um, matrix is the one whom we also call God in different religions. He's the one. For me, it's not Anunnaki. It's the one who created the whole thing, the whole structural program. And see, the people who don't believe in religion, some religious people are ready to kill you because you don't believe in it,
Hmm.
because you don't conform to the rules. Therefore, you have to be edited out from this environment, from this
Yeah, I
reality.
think that was one of the best strategy for them to create a religious. Religious is definitely control, easy to control. Is like the computers, the mobile phones, smartphones, everything is digital. Before they use obviously this fake reality to believe, in something. And it's
Mm,
interesting because I told I was reading about all the cruelty and the killing that the church uh, made,
yeah.
and there was definitely reptilians. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there was a draconians. I mean, they kill people, they burn, not only women or witches, everybody that didn't believe, or they think they believe it was better than the other, like the Protestants against the Catholics. And the popes that they had, the popes was honestly so corrupted, dirty. They lived in the privilege. They had wives.
Right.
It was pedophilia. They was absolutely pedophilia. They always, kill children, abuse children, and they drink the soul definitely. And that
Right.
is what I believe in. Certainly, conspiracy theories that some of these some elites they use, uh, you know, children energy. And I
Yeah.
stop here because I don't want to get too. But who understand what I'm talking about? They know, and
It's
and
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and these religions are definitely. I mean, if people getting upset, only angry when you criticize the church, but if you see the church at the moment, I mean, they never was a good example. Never.
Mm-hmm.
They even changed the word of Jesus Christ, because the real Jesus Christ was everything but not this bunch of institutions of corrupt big and they are like I said, institutions is like a pyramid. Yeah, you have to be having a big eye, you have to behave in some way. All rules. Woman, of course,
Yeah.
shuts up, and the men they have to do this. This is always rules, rules, rules.
Because
I,
women represent the feminine energy of this universe. This
mhm.
universe originally, you know, it's a fake universe, but it's the prototype of this universe was all female energy. That carries more information. It can expand more. It has more creativity. That's why they want, and that's why we present more creativity. We're more creative. We're better warriors. Even women are. Everybody knows that. But the thing about when you mentioned about reptilians, I remember my son. He wakes up at night all the time, and he's like completely asleep with eyes open. And I can ask him sometimes questions, and his answers are not from his head; it's from his soul. And he once was running straight into the door, almost jumped off the bed, like almost tripped. And I said, "Whom are you running from?" And he said, "Reptilians." And I said, "Who are the reptilians?" He said, "Reptilian masters." And that was the only thing he said.
Wow,
And he's a lot of times he's like, "Oh," and then it's just like he wakes up like he's scared. And my Marina, my daughter, I mean, she speaks different languages. She always deals with animals. And they were watching Harry Potter yesterday, and one of the wizards was spinning fast. And I was like, I closed my eyes and like asked, why is he spinning? Because they showing us something truthful. You feel it. It's a truth. That's how you disintegrate yourself and go to a different world. Because when you try to raise your vibration, it looks like you're spinning and expanding. In expansion, you're thinning out your molecules, they turn into complete translucent dust that nobody can see. That's why wizards disappear in that spinning energy.
wow, yeah.
That's what souls do. That's what we should be able to do unless we on spaceships. There's some technology they use on spaceships. I just know it because every time in trance when I go into spaceships, I feel sick. I feel like my vibration goes down, and I feel like there's not much I can do about raising it unless I exit the spaceship because they have the electromagnetic field technology, much like colliders they use on this planet underground, to produce this electromagnetic field that just suppress our ability to raise our vibration. I,
Mm.
I, I know it. I understand. I've been going to ships so many times, and it just that's what it is. That's why you feel nauseous here.
What about what you think if we can give some tips to the people that watch us how to get ready, how to basically to spin, obviously before go to sleep, or when we are deep, deep, when we think we are distracted, but we are auto hypnotized because we are fading away. So if we can have exercise, usually breathing is very important because breathing is giving you a sense of relaxation,
Hmm.
and then the spinning, what you can suggest, Oksana, because you do these things. Marina
I
do these things.
Right. I realized that this being fakely putting yourself in the fake box of focusing only on positive is actually a trap, 100% trap. Um, because that kind of makes you sleep. It makes you go back to sleep. That's what they want, right? But I noticed in my own life when I start acting on something I don't like, actually that's how I change my situation. I literally start telling people, expressing what I don't like about how they behave towards me or anything. Or I let myself be, it's not upset. It's something you're not satisfied with and you're searching for solutions, feeling. That always helps you improve things. Um, because energetically you kind of like project out that hey, if you want me to be like that, and if you want to have hard time dealing with me, I mean, it can be related to any relative or anybody, but they feel it, they know it, then don't try to change then, or don't try to like don't work with me then, and that's what you're gonna get. So because if you're just like fakely happy all the time, I noticed nothing was happening when I was like looking for this and that, all this stuff. And if I'm just like clear, the main thing is to be clear. Okay, that's how I think. If you think that way and that's what you want, that's how I'm gonna feel. Um, they just it's 100% a trap about this
Yeah,
positive.
usually I say
That's the
to
only way to raise vibration. No,
Mhm.
that's not the way to raise vibration. All you have to do is want. You have to want to raise your vibration.
Yeah,
You
and
focus on
the
it.
intuition that when you believe the intuition, sometimes the intuition is tricked by entities or to put you down, to go to the opposite direction, to the fear. If
Mm,
your intuition says, no, I don't like this, it's not fair, then trust because you feel it.
all
And if
right.
the intuition or is intuition, it can be your inner self giving a message, okay? Your intuition can be your spirit guide, whatever you want to call, but you feel it. That is what you really think because it's your consciousness and your feeling at the same level. That's make you feel I am in the right path. Because if I don't like a abuser next to me, but I have to compromise because for the sake of everybody. No, it's not fair. This is just abuser, and you are trapped in a scheme. So if you believe that this is abuser, get out from the abuser or
Mm.
do something against the abuser, but don't stay with the abuser. That is definitely what you have to believe. If you believe in that, and then this is what I think. Whatever happen, even if you, the abuser will be winning after you, doesn't matter. But you're not corrupt
You
by
can
this
show your
energy.
power. They're scared when
Exactly.
you show that you are firm
But
in
even
what you
for
say,
everything,
what you think.
Oksana,
Yeah,
I,
for everything. People are natural. That's the code. See, I recently got a letter from a woman. She's originally from Kazakhstan but lives in St. Petersburg. And she said, well, I wanted to make a video with you. I can give away codes for healing to people. And then she starts telling me about all her problems in her own life. And I'm thinking, wait, if you give codes, from what kind of frequency your codes come from? Vibrational frequency is very important when you give something. When you give something like flowers or a pie you just baked to a person, you have to be in very good spirits, right? Because you're happy to give away something. But in this, it's like I'm suffering myself, but I'm helping others. That's not how it works. Unless you help yourself first, you can help others. Because through going, all these things we go through, they really help me to understand because it's all the same programming we'll go through. If I understand how they programmed me and how I got to the understanding of some things, how they manipulate and trick you, I can help others because I can share my knowledge. That's a deal. And that's why I think also I feel like even if there is a tough some situation, I feel like this is good. I just have to something figure out of it, right? Because it'll stimulate me. Because only through that kind of stimulation I feel growing inside. I mean, if I'm just happily, la 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 la, doing the same thing over and over every day and think like, oh yeah, I'm in a high vibration because I'm always happy, like a Groundhog Day every day doing the same stuff, but I'm still happy because I'm only focusing on the positive. There's no growth in it. There's no growing in understanding or consciousness in that kind of, it's like you're in stasis, but your body is put in the stasis,
it's like
and that's
you
what
are.
you are.
Yeah, it's like you are creating always. I mean, what I say is even for the intuition. Sometimes the intuition, which is you can call whatever you want, is send us to the opposite direction that we were thinking. Doesn't matter. Means that you need to understand better the issue,
Hmm.
the problem. Maybe you needed to. bang your head and to feel the
Mm.
pain, to understand what is why you don't understand certain things. So yes, I agree with you. We need the negative to understand the positive. We can't think that everything's positive, everything. This is why the consciousness is divide in good and bad, because we need to understand what is bad. And sometimes things bad is good for us to really understand how we need to improve the good. Okay, so anger, which is supposed to be negative, no, it's not negative. I think it's positive because anger is a sense of protection. Because when you're angry, you are protecting your body, is protecting for attack.
Mm.
Okay, to understand what something's not right, not good, not positive.
Or somebody's trespassing the borders of your
Exactly.
energetic field, and that's when you usually feel angry because somebody's tempting with you, this way, like like trying to get into your face and crossing your borders. That's mostly when I feel kind of on edge because they take my kindness for weakness, and then I know it happens with you too, but that's how
Hmm.
this world is programmed. And I feel like there are universes where there's semi bad stuff happens too, but it's not to the extreme. In this universe, artificially made, they made it to the very deep down extreme to make it so low so the demonic entities can go into it. It's like a passageway. Because if somebody's tortured to death, you know, through electrical shocks and all kinds of stuff that they do to Ukrainian soldiers, I was thinking like that just brings them so down so the demonic entities can connect to them through that torture. It's like a
Exactly.
ritual. They're doing all kinds of rituals. Do you remember it's even before all of this started, I kept saying that I see the demonic, that layer of demonic entities are trying to get into our 3D. They're trying to
Hmm.
get up because if the earth is creating is doing this like spinning, raising its vibration, it pushes them out and they are underground, like for us to understand kind of like where they are. So if they're pushed out, they're going into our to survive here in our space. They need to do all kinds of sacrifice, all kinds of rituals. Here you go, all these wars, tortures, attacks, these are all rituals.
Hmm. So, like I will explain every time, we as long that we don't cross that line, that is
Mm.
us, but is the line that we have to, you know, understand that we can't cross. Because when we cross, we are to the other side, where there are the entities, where there
Mm.
are the all the being species. Some
Mhm.
people that I saw in our previous videos, they asked what means felinoids. And is one of basically species that entities embody themselves. They show the power of the energy of a felinoid, which is can be a cat, can be a lion, a tiger, a gepard,
Mm.
and they are the
Cat
same like.
species.
They are predators, yeah. So a felinoid is a predator. So you are victim of somebody that is trying to
Mm.
uh, take you as a prey. Okay, they following you. Okay,
Right.
they like the excitement. The
Mm.
insectoid is what they do. They suck blood,
Insectoids,
energy.
yeah.
They are connected to the vampirism. Yeah, so can be insectoids, can be mantis that they kill you. Uh,
Arachnoids.
yeah, arachnoids, spiders, and it's poisoning. Some with the stung, yeah, sting.
Mm.
They take from you. You can feel, and it's connected always with the syringe,
Mhm.
and everything is a needle. Yeah, so that for make
Mhm.
understand some some of the people that watch us what mean insectoids, felinoids, reptilians. Reptilians are the everybody that kill because they be ordered to kill.
Mhm.
Okay. And the crocodile, they eat you, but not because they're hungry, just because they want to eat you. A soldier, you say, kill this child. he has to do it because this he knew it from before. He's trained to kill. So reptilians kill, trained to kill, born to kill. Reptiloids, they are who? They are the presidents. They are the dictators. They are all the
Mm.
people that are on the top of the pyramids. So what will I saying this? I send this to people to understand why you cross the line, where you find they're all waiting. Every every species with their own army. Aliens, alien. We are aliens, guys.
Yeah, well, definitely. And those Philinoid forms and other alien groups, unfortunately, they are really
Hmm.
are cloned. They're like clones of the original ones. They're AI technology of the original ones. So if you say that, oh, there are good Philinoid forms in this universe, I don't see anymore, those would they were kind of like, there are universes where phelinoid forms exist and they're nice, but they just AI technology took an imprint and created in their form and shape phelinoids, but filled them up with bad programs. It's like they can clone Oksana, fill that Oksana with all kinds of technology, with very evil programs, and I'll become a serial killer in some other world in the same with the same face and body. The same idea, you know. That's what people that's where this mannequin it's called program and SSP called, those people, because there are other worlds where clones of you running and doing something. So it's so connected because I also feel like I know what original Earth is, and you know what original Earth is, and we're living there too. It just like our imprint are here in the body. It's very hard to understand because everything is mind and thought. If everything is mind and thought, then okay, well, what I believe in my head is automatically created, then everything's created out of thought. So it makes it understandable. So thought is like a lightning, like a speed of light thing.
Hmm. You know what?
Um,
I have a message from our channel. My granddad comes to me. He says,
uh,
he says, Efisia, do you remember when I made the pictures with the Polaroid? And you was like, wow, all the room, and we are small in a little picture. Yes, this is what Oksana you are talking about. It is when people believe that in that picture is our life. It's
mm,
smaller, okay, and they program
mm,
it. But when you see that picture, which the old Polaroid that comes, old
yeah,
fashioned 80s,
yeah.
is what they want us to believe that everything is like that picture. But we know that is something more than this picture. Okay, so our life is not only a surrogate.
Exactly. And then I was actually yesterday I was thinking, boy, there's so many people I used to know in Chicago are now in different places, and they keep, how on your phone pops up update somebody updated his or her story. And I see some people updating their story on Facebook or Instagram like 5 times a day. And I'm thinking, wait, those are people who are not happy with their own reality, and then naturally transport themselves via by using their mind without even understanding in an alternative reality where that's how they would want to live, like in those pictures or stories, but they really are not living that way. Because in pictures and stories, the emotional imprint is a bit different from real life. You just like you got the smile on the picture, and it has a different vibrational frequency from how you feel inside every minute. So you create an alternative story. It's like artificially design the other life running in parallel with your own life right now. Like you create multiple timelines that way
Hmm.
by creating a story. That's why they made these platforms for us to create stories. Not only it's a distraction, but it also takes away you from analyzing what's wrong inside that I need to show to others how great my life is through the pictures and stories I got. And why do I think and why does it make me happy if I get this many likes and this many friends and
Yeah,
this
why
many
they don't show
comments?
their own the truth? Like, I mean, I that was very very good what you said, because many times we smile, but we're not happy inside. Yeah, but try to be positive. But I'm not positive. Why don't
It
show
makes an
my
imprint
yeah
of you. Every
yeah
time somebody takes a picture of you or you, I mean, there's nothing to be scared about. I mean, people take pictures of me too. I don't like it. I naturally never liked it. But I feel like this imprint goes into a database of, it's like a big sack of universes to me, like a
hmm
huge space, and it just circulating there, you know?
yeah. It's like definitely. It's like they created always. Everything must be fake. Everything must be. It's like the people says, "Oh, people they care what the people think." So I have never to tell what is the reality. Look, from inside of your house, you have abusive husband, and the child see the dad eating a mother or arguing, and they in the house they are basically hiding the real nature of a man of a woman. But
Mm-hmm.
outside, no, 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 we are okay. We're smiling. So it's like we know we are fake. We fake everything, but we stay in the game because this is the right thing to do. You understand? And because this, when we come back to the charge
Mm-hmm.
that they said you have to respect dad and mom, even if they eat you. Um, and all these
Child is
rules.
small. Child is small. You know what? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. It's
My
okay.
youngest told me once, my body is small, and she was very little. She was like 3. And that's why I cannot expand as you can. I don't have much room. And I was thinking about this phrase, and I kind of understand now because expansion means force. The bigger your body, the more force you have because you can drain more invisible energy of your own self into this body. You know what I
hmm
mean? And that's why babies cry when they come into this world. First of all, they're not happy that they came. Second of all, I mean, everybody touches you, takes you, looks at you, like so many people. And by touching, why people want to hold a baby? Because they want some of that energy. Because they're all contaminated. And the baby cries when I go into my, burst of myself. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this makes me want to cry. Everybody standing in that hospital room, and even my mother, they all have entities attached to them. How would you not cry? You
And they
come
can
into
feel and
the
they can sense. I mean, even a person cry, a child, if he cries with me, I hold this baby, and the child is uncomfortable with me.
Mhm,
Of course, our ego says, no, I don't like, he don't like me or she don't like me. And it's like
mhm,
break your heart, but you have to think beyond, okay? This child is telling you you have something not right. Actually, that can help you to understand why the child is crying. Obviously, the
mhm,
child can ask many. It can be thirsty, can be it wanted to sleep, is tired.
right, right.
But with children, especially babies, until they, like I said, 3 years, 4 years old, they can feel the energy of an adult when this
Yeah.
compromise.
Yeah, that's when my kids gave me the most information when they were 2.5, 3, 4. But then after that, it's a little bit, they're more into physical more. It sucks you in. Even with all the information I give them, they lose interest in this stuff. You know what I mean? So you have
Mm-hmm.
to catch them. They still remember, they still know, but it's not like they're interested in it. But that's their own way. They'll get to it when they're ready back, and they'll re-remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, maybe we could stop this video,
Yeah,
right? It's,
we
it's
are
easier for me to save and post then.
40 minutes. And yes, stay tuned because now we're going to channel we Uh, Joe Biden. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Stay with me.
Hmm.